Story number 1. No one took me seriously when I spoke of my living reflection, dismissing it as childish fantasy. But as the days passed, my certainty grew, fueled by the creeping dread that coiled in the pit of my stomach. It wasn't a ghost. I knew that much. No, my reflection seemed more like a trapped creature, an entity clawing at the confines of its mirrored prison. Its grumpy visage haunted every reflective surface, a constant reminder of its sinister presence. I learned to keep my distance, avoiding mirrors like the plague, fearing the day it might succeed in pulling me into its dark realm. Yet no matter how I tried to avoid it, the entity's anger only seemed to grow. Then came the day of the earthquake, a cataclysmic event that shattered the fragile veneer of normalcy. Amidst the chaos, I found myself trapped beneath fallen debris, the pain pulsing through my battered body. As I struggled to orient myself in the darkness, my gaze fell upon a nearby mirror, its surface glinting in the dim light. Instinctively, I recoiled, my heart pounding in terror as I beheld my reflection. But this time, it was different. For the first time, the entity smiled, a devilish grin that sent shivers down my spine. And as I watched in horror, it waved goodbye, a chilling farewell that echoed through the fractured silence. In that moment, I knew. This was no ordinary reflection. It was a harbinger of darkness, a malevolent force that lurked just beyond the glass, waiting to claim me for its own. And as the tremors subsided and the world fell into an uneasy calm, I realized with a sinking dread that the nightmare was far from over. Story number 2. For as long as memory serves, the looming house at the end of our street whispered secrets, shrouded in a veil of mystery. Abandoned and forsaken, its haunted halls bore witness to a tragic tale etched in the annals of our town's history. In 2004, a young couple dared to breach its threshold, ignorant of the darkness that lurked within. Their blissful ignorance shattered when tragedy struck. A fall down the staircase claimed the life of the young wife. Her neck snapped upon impact, with the unforgiving door below. Bereft and broken, her husband fled, leaving behind the echoes of their shattered dreams. Yet the house refused to fade into obscurity, its spectral presence haunting those who dared draw near. Tales of eerie encounters swirled through our community, of UPS workers greeted by phantom voices, of unseen hands that struck with a force beyond mortal comprehension. But it was Casey, brave and unyielding, who dared to defy the house's malevolent grip. With the audacity of youth and the fearlessness of the Navy-blooded, he accepted the challenge that had eluded all others. We watched in trepidation as Casey approached the threshold, his silhouette swallowed by the gaping maw of darkness. The minutes stretched into eternity, our hearts pounding in rhythm with the ticking of time. Then, with a courage that bordered on madness, Casey crossed the threshold, his flashlight cutting through the murky gloom. Emboldened by his audacity, we abandoned our post, racing to join him in his quest for answers. But our triumph was short-lived, shattered by the sound of a body tumbling down the stairs, Casey's fall a testament to the house's dark secrets. As we rushed to his side, his words hung heavy in the stale air. Someone had beckoned him forth, yet no soul graced the upper floors. In that moment, the facade of bravery crumbled, replaced by a chilling realization. We were not alone in that accursed house, and as the shadows closed in around us, we knew that the truth of its haunted halls would forever remain beyond our grasp. Story number 3. Perched in my upstairs sanctuary, I watched the morning unfurl through my bedroom window, anticipating the arrival of our new neighbors. As the sun cast its pale light upon the quiet street, I witnessed the couple, their arms laden with boxes, embarking on their journey into the adjacent house. They exuded an air of normalcy, a typical couple settling into a new home. But it was the empty window of the neighboring upstairs bedroom that captured my attention, its yawning void a harbinger of the horrors to come. Within its confines stood a girl, her presence eerie yet familiar, a doppelganger of my own age. Our gazes met, and she beckoned me forth. a silent call that stirred an inexplicable compulsion within me. With trepidation, I obliged, opening my window to her whispered greeting. "Nice to meet you, I'm Sarah," she murmured, her voice a haunting melody that hung heavy in the still air. I offered a nervous laugh in return, introductions exchanged between us. As Sarah vanished from view, leaving me with naught but a cryptic command to keep my window open, I grappled with confusion. What strange dance had I stumbled into? And what role did Sarah play in this enigmatic performance? Her return bore a paper airplane, a vessel of communication that drifted into my room with an eerie grace. On its surface, a single word beckoned, "Open." Succumbing to curiosity, I complied, unveiling a message that promised Sarah's imminent visit. The night drew on, fraught with anticipation and unanswered questions. Yet as darkness cloaked the world outside, Sarah remained silent, her promise unfulfilled. When my mother summoned me downstairs to greet the neighbors, I descended into a nightmare. Sarah's absence loomed large, replaced by the hollow shells of her grieving parents. My inquiry into her whereabouts was met with stunned disbelief, their anguished revelation shattering the fragile facade of normalcy. With a harsh rebuke, I was banished to my room, confusion swirling like a tempest within my mind. Returning to the solace of my chamber, I found no sanctuary. Instead, a sinister omen awaited me, a paper airplane, its arrival heralding Sarah's spectral presence. Through the gloom, her figure materialized, a specter cloaked in the shadows of her own demise. As she drew nearer, the moonlight revealed the truth of her existence, a visage twisted with malice, eyes as dark as the void itself. With trembling hands, I read her final message. "Behind you." In an instant, the world plunged into darkness, my sanctuary transformed into a realm of dread. A whispered echo pierced the silence, chilling me to the bone, a name uttered from the depths of the abyss. "Sam."